Hello and welcome to my review of Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. My name is Andrew Dunn. I'm co-host of the Media Lunch Break podcast. I have a bachelor's in theater and speech communications and a master's degree in acting. I've been going through all the Mission Impossible movies, largely for the first time. I saw the first two films when I was a child, and now I'm going through those two again and the rest of them for the first time. If you haven't seen my reviews on the first, second, or third Mission Impossible movie, be sure to check those out on our YouTube channel. Other than the first two, I haven't seen any of these before. I'm going through all of them one by one and giving my reviews as I watch them. This is the fourth one. I've just watched it for the first time, and these are going to be my thoughts on it. If you want to hear my thoughts about the rest of the movies, please be sure to subscribe. These videos are going to keep coming out until we culminate with the big movie of the summer, Final Reckoning, which is evidently the last one, I guess? The word final's in the title, so I don't know. Maybe. Tom Cruise is like a senior citizen at this point, so there can't be that many more of these. But yeah, what I've been doing is just, as I watch the movies, I take notes. I don't know why I did this. I'm not writing them. It's more like this. I'm typing them out on my phone. And now that I'm making the videos, I'm going to go through my notes and just sort of talk about them a little bit. And then at the end, after I go through all my notes, I'll tell you my general thoughts about the movie as a whole. So enough rambling from me. Let's get to getting. Here it is. Ghost Protocol, the fourth Mission Impossible installment. Also, spoilers for this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to spoil it. So, sorry. My first note is, oh my god, they actually mentioned the woman from the last movie. Thus far, this has been the first time that one of these movies addresses the romantic relationship, for lack of a better word, that Ethan Hunt, our main character, has had in a previous movie. In the first one, he definitely got busy with the main villain's wife, but then she spoiler alert, she died. And then in the next movie, he has to bring a woman on to get closer to the main antagonist, and he absolutely has a little something with her too. And then by the time we get to the third movie, he is engaged. He's having an engagement party. He's getting ready to be married because he's totally in love with this woman. And I kind of just assumed she was going to be gone by the time we got to this one too, and she kind of is. But it's important. They talk about her. They kind of fridged her a little bit. If you don't know what that means, don't look it up. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. We're going to move forward. At the very beginning, what's that actor's name? There's a guy who's in it, and he dies. At the very beginning of this, Josh Holloway, who's playing a spy, gets murdered by a woman who is definitely a spy. It's like a beautiful blonde woman in a trench coat walking towards him. What are you doing? He has these lenses on that like take video of somebody, and then his phone will tell him if that person that he's looking at is a spy. And he has to look down at his phone and it says like, hey, this is an assassin. Of course it f***ing is. Look at her. But I guess every single person in here is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful and talented, and like they're all obviously spies, except for Benji. Simon Pegg, you'd never know. But even he is like a little too charming. Aren't spies supposed to be able to like blend in, fit in a little bit, and you'd never think about them? By the time they're gone, you forget what they looked like? Every single person in this is completely, stunningly beautiful. If you saw any single one of these people across a cafe, you wouldn't be able to help but just stare at them with your mouth open. It'd be really weird and awkward. Every single person in this movie is stunningly beautiful and charming. I thought spies were supposed to be boring, but I guess characters can't. Movies can't. You gotta have the beautiful people in your movies. So here we are. Tom Cruise is so beautiful, I'm not convinced he's not actually a secret agent. Scientology notwithstanding. The beginning of this movie takes place in Budapest, and it has Jeremy Renner in it, and that makes me happy as a Marvel fan. Oh, also, there's an Agent Carter in this, and I'm pretty sure Haley Atwell is in this franchise as well, so that's interesting. Is that unintentional? There's a lot of Marvel stuff in this. Like maybe Marvel stuff. Is it Marvel stuff? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill shows up in these eventually too, right? Is his character named like Clark Dent? I know that's not Marvel, but whatever. Maybe it's just superhero references. Again, it's probably unintentional. Is it me? Am I just reading into it? Probably. I wrote here, wait, nuclear launch codes. Change the codes. Stealing nuclear launch codes only works if nobody knows you have them, because otherwise you can just change the codes. Just change the codes. And then it doesn't matter that somebody has them. They're not right. I also wrote here that Tom Wilkinson does the worst American act. What is it about these movies and taking like classical English actors? I don't know that Tom Wilkinson is like a classical English actor, but like good old English actors and making them do like a absolute dog shit American accent.
Yesterday, I flew in to accept the order of friendship from the Russian Prime Minister.
What is that about? They did the same thing with Anthony Hopkins in 2 movies ago, I think. Yeah, in the second one. Second one, right? Yeah, the second one.
This is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
I'm starting to mix all these up, which I guess is what happens when you watch a bunch of movies all at once. Why is Ethan Hunt afraid of heights all of a sudden? I mean, in the last movie, he swung from the top of one building, past another building, and then up onto the roof of a third building. But now he's afraid to, like, fall 2 stories off a building? Into a trash can? Into, like, a dumpster? Why? We've seen him do crazier shit than this. And then there's also the Dubé, like, building climbing scene, which, look, I get. He's very, very high up in that. I would also be very nervous. But then we also see him an hour later drive a car off a ledge 300 feet straight down without hesitation. The two-story thing is a little weird to me. Like, based on what I've seen Ethan Hunt do, he could just, he was standing on a ledge on the outside. He could crawl down, and so then he'd only be like, I don't know, 10 feet in the air, and then just sort of fall back into this dumpster that clearly had a bunch of like boxes and trash bags and stuff. A normal human would probably be, I don't know, bruised, and it probably wouldn't feel great. There's a good chance you'll cut yourself on some broken glass that's in the dumpster or whatever. But like, if you need to escape from that because Russian spies are coming to kill you, that's a good alternative. I don't know, he just seems a little silly in some of this movie. I wrote here as well, is this some super soldier shit? Wistrom, is that his name? Wistrom, the main antagonist. Wistrom, I'll say it a third time, hits an oncoming car. Both of them are going at least 60 miles per hour. His car does 3 flips in the air, lands upside down, and then he immediately gets up and runs away. And he is maybe not super old, but like middle-aged. I don't know, I feel like that would take out most people. And yeah, he just got up and was like, wow, lucky me, and then ran away. I don't know, it seems a little weird to me. I wrote here, this analyst sure is athletic, but that's, don't worry about that. That's not a plot hole. Where they're gonna address that. I also wrote here, I feel like the editing did this movie dirty. All of the Foley feels like it's from old 1980s and 1990s Jackie Chan films, and there's even like clearly an ADR added audio when Jane is fighting Sabine, and there's like a big open window, and you hear Jeremy Renner from off screen yell, "Now, Jane! Jane, now!" And Jane kicks Sabine out the window, and then the next like few scenes, they're all giving Jane shit about how she killed this woman, and I'm like, you told her to do that. And I even went back, because I watched this on Prime, I went back and I was like, that happened, right? Jeremy Renner was like, now do it, and she fucking kicked her out the window. What was she supposed to do? Jeremy Renner's character is giving her shit for that.
She couldn't help us with that.
Yeah, so let's throw her off the building.
I didn't throw her.
Let's throw her off the building. She was not the mission, Jane.
And I'm like, you should have, what did you even mean by now? When you yelled now, Jane, what'd you mean to do? You should have been more specific with whatever it was now, but don't kick her out the window. I don't know, something. Very strange. Oh, I also wrote here, this is more of a Prime issue, I think, or this could be a like filmmaking issue. None of the Russian dialogue has subtitles, and that could be a user error on my part. I had subtitles turned on. I didn't have this problem with any of the other Mission Impossible movies, but for some reason, none of the scenes with Russian being spoken had captioning, had a translated subtitle. And I assume that was intentional, but there's also like whole scenes where 2 Russians are talking for like, I don't know, 2 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know. It felt a lot like when you're at a party and 2 of your friends are talking in front of you, like you were all just having a conversation, and one of them's like, oh, that reminds me of this subject. Do you ever watch this TV show? And the other person's like, oh my God, I love that show. And you don't know the show, and so you just watch your 2 friends be like, and then Glarble Gloop, when he took the gun, I wasn't expecting Fiddledy-Gibbet to do that with the Snoogle Snork. And the other person's like, oh my God, I know. And I'm like, what's happening? Except in that instance, you can just walk away. And I needed to finish watching this movie, so I couldn't just do that. I don't know. It was weird, but it also could have been a user error on my part. But if it wasn't, I think that was a weird choice, and I wouldn't have done that. Oh, and I wrote here, now Renner too. Why are all the IMF agents terrified of heights?
Jump now?
Yes. Now.
You're sure about this suit, right, Reggie?
Pretty sure.
Oh, God.
Jump.
Jump!
He also is like super scared of falling like 15 feet, which look, I know, I get it. I've been 15 feet in the air. It's terrifying. But if you're an IMF agent, I'm not Tom Cruise or Jeremy Renner. Those dudes, especially during this movie, are like peak physical part of their career, especially if your life's on the line. I think I don't understand the fear. I get the like, no, that's not the right idea because I'll break my ankle and I won't be able to run away. But they're like pissing their pants over it. It's very strange. Maybe the director just thought there wasn't enough tension or something. I don't know. It feels weird. I wrote here, there's no way this many people are faster than Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is chasing after a bunch of people in this movie, and every time they show Tom Cruise darting, he's dashing as fast as he can, chasing after someone who is clearly slower than him and about 5 feet away or 10 feet away. And then they just cut again, and the person who's slower than him is like 50 feet away. And then they cut again, and he's like 100 feet away. And I'm like, it's also always like a middle-aged man carrying a metal briefcase. And I'm like, this is not how that would go. Tom Cruise would catch up to these people so quickly. He's one of the fastest motherfuckers on the planet. All right, so those are all the notes I took. This movie was fine. I think. I don't think it was very good. It's okay. I think it has a lot of plot holes. I think it's kind of strange at parts. It largely is just a thing that happens. I don't really feel anything for any of the characters. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Other than a little embarrassed for them, like Tom Cruise being terrified of falling one story. And maybe that's just because I've been oversaturated with action films where people fall from enormous heights. And I also know that Tom Cruise does a lot of like insane stunts in these movies. And I'm like, okay, like I'm pretty sure you just rode your motorbike up a hill onto a plane or something, or a train maybe? I don't remember. But, you know, some big stunt. Pretty sure he just dropped out of like the stratosphere a little while ago for one of these movies. He held his breath for like 10 minutes or some shit. Like, I don't know, it's a little weird to see this guy hanging out of a second story window and just completely unsure of how to get down. When an hour later he climbs the tallest tower in the world from the outside. It's weird. It's strange. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm open to being wrong, but like, I don't really give a shit about any of these characters. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, especially after the last movie. The last movie was so good. That's a difficult film to follow. But this doesn't do a good job of that. And maybe it's not entirely its fault. Maybe it's the expectation on me, the audience's part, of like, well, the last one was so good, you know? But it was fine. So far, these are like Star Wars movies. 50-50 chance that one's gonna be good. First one was pretty good. Second one I did not care for. This one's better than that. The third one's the best one I've seen so far. So for as of now, it goes, third one's the best, first one's the next best, fourth one, the one I just talked about and reviewed, Ghost Protocol, is the next best, and then the second one is not good. But other than that, yeah, that's how I felt about it. I don't know. It's a movie. It's fine. It's another one you kind of need to turn your brain off for, I think. There are parts of it that are cerebral and that are interesting and fun and, you know, I have a good time with, but it's largely just a fine movie. So there you go. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be talking about the rest of the Mission Impossible films in future videos. Those videos are going to culminate in my final video being about the new movie that just came out, Final Reckoning. We're also going to be talking about that movie on the podcast, The Media Lunch Break, so feel free to listen to that. We're going to be talking about Final Reckoning alongside a comic book titled We Called Them Giants. And yeah, like this video, share it around, and I'm going to get ready to go watch the fifth Mission Impossible, which is Fallout. Is that one Fallout? Is that one Rogue Nation? It's Rogue Nation. It's Rogue Nation. I'm going to talk about I'm going to go watch Rogue Nation, and then I'll make a video about Rogue Nation. Okay, bye.